high school player that's 17 years old in Texas or whatever state it is making a decision based on money, not on his best interest in terms of his development. A high school player that's 17 years old in Texas or whatever state it is making a decision based on money, not on his best interest in terms of his development. That's all these guys should be focused on, is my development as a person, as a student, and as a player. They don't get it. They don't play when they're freshmen, and they want to go someplace else. Now, we've had 35 guys go out early for the draft. All right, so I got 32 phone calls. That's 32 teams times 35. That's over 1,000 phone calls. I've never been asked once how much a player plays as a freshman. When juniors go out early for the draft, they don't have any background on them, so they call the coach. Not once. It's what did you develop into? That's the most important thing. And I got 30 phone calls last year, 3 days before the draft. We had 6 first-round guys and 2 second-round guys. 30 phone calls. Never once got asked what kind of player a guy was. Take this story back to your players too. Not one question about what kind of player. What kind of character does he have? What kind of person is he? How's he going to fit in their organization? What kind of teammate is he? Does he have any leadership qualities? That's the only thing I got asked. They can see what kind of player you are. They want to know what kind of person you are. Can we trust you to represent our organization in a first-class way? That's important in every choice and decision that you make. Create value for yourself in all those areas.
Thank you, Coach Saban. Now, everybody's invited to a website and a associated email list about NIL, name, image, and likeness. Got a website at nil.cloh.org. And then when you're there are a few interesting prior podcasts that other people have put out that I think are well worth it. So if you are at all interested in NIL, check out the blog, and hopefully we can kick around some discussions and get your input in this email discussion list. So let's talk about this one word, free. This podcast is free. You can get it gratis. Just subscribe. Most podcasts are free. Some are not, but you're also free to suggest it to others. You can forward episodes. You can freely repost our links. So free is nice, as in gratis. Give it away. Once upon a time, I had a website, freeteam.org, and it was for free and open source software. It's something I really love too. Being able to take the code, manipulate it, and then reuse it yourself. So that way the code is GPL'd or made free. But now we're going to talk about freestyle, or how about free time? When I was running these swim camps, I hated the word free time. The kids, hey, we were playing, we were learning, we were doing activities, but I put a thumb down and tried to wipe it out of the vocabulary as far as being free time. Now, there's free swims. Sure, that's sort of a necessary thing, but I'm a little bit more about organized play and team play rather than have it be totally sit on your bottom and sunbathe, which generally is all that free time works out to be. Then, beyond freestyle and free time, there's free, as in this book that we're going to cover. Gentleman spent some time in prison and now is free. But we all have our bars and our roadblocks and our prisons that we have to fight against. So let's hear it for free. Let's hear it for freestyle. And let's hear it for this book. Details are in the show notes.
Today we're getting into Shaka Singhor's new book, How to Be Free. And our mission really is to pull out lessons and stories, specifically thinking about you, the listener, if you're a coach, things you can actually use with your athletes.
He's a New York Times bestselling author known as a resilience expert. He actually already works with athletes. He helps people deal with those hidden prisons, he calls them, self-doubt, fear, that whole perfectionism trap. And this book, it offers coaches like a real blueprint to guide athletes through that stuff.
Focus on looking forward, overcoming the past.
Yes. He tells this fantastic story about driving a Porsche. So the instructor literally covers the rearview mirror, tells him to look where you want to go, not at the wall you're afraid of hitting.
Simple but powerful.
And the mantra he gets from it is, your past doesn't define your path.
So for an athlete, maybe after a really bad race or coming back from injury, this is gold.
Absolutely. Instead of just saying move on, maybe, a coach could use this. Like have the swimmer visualize just the first perfect stroke of the next race, really disconnect from what just happened.
Like using that mirror analogy to shift their mental view.
Exactly. Get them looking ahead, not stuck looking back.
But wait, don't athletes need to analyze mistakes sometimes to learn? How does that square with, not looking back?
It's nuanced. Signor isn't saying ignore the lessons. It's about not dwelling there, not letting it trap you.
Okay, got it. Extract the learning, but don't live in the failure.
Precisely. And pushing through that discomfort, well, that brings us to the next big piece. Building real resilience.
Resilience, huge in sports.
Huge. And Signor says it's not about dodging failure. It's about how you react when adversity hits. He uses the Derek Redmond story. You remember?
Oh, the Olympics. Tore his hamstring.
Tore his hamstring in the 400 semifinal. Just devastating. But he didn't quit. He got up. His dad helped him. He finished.
Such an incredible moment.
It really was. And Signor's point is powerful. It is your reaction to adversity, not the adversity itself, that determines how your life story will develop.
That hits home for any athlete pushing through pain or a tough set.
Yeah, think about swimmers hitting a wall in a long set. It's about choosing how they respond to that feeling. Signor also talks about his own physical journey in prison.
Right, the training.
Yeah, going from barely doing pull-ups to lifting serious weight, 455 pounds. That wasn't just physical strength. It forged mental toughness.
So the message for coaches is pushing through hard training builds that mental fortitude for race day.
You got it. It builds the resilience needed when things get tough in competition.
And managing those tough moments often requires, right? Staying calm under pressure.
Exactly. Signor has another great story for this. Snorkeling in Maui. He gets salt water in his snorkel, starts to panic. Natural reaction. But he catches himself. Thinks panic only makes things worse.
So he just calmed down.
Took a breath, calmed himself, took the snorkel off, swam back. Simple, but profound.
That's directly applicable. The starting block jitters, the chaos of a close race.
That deliberate breath, that mental centering, it's a skill coaches can teach. Practice it, maybe simple breathing exercises so it's automatic under pressure.
Like building a physiological anchor.
Precisely. Which leads to the final piece we wanted to touch on, that unstoppable, self-believing mindset.
Right. How do you cultivate that?
Signor points to Diana Ross, her famous Central Park concert in the pouring rain.
Oh, yeah. Iconic. She just kept going.
Didn't just keep going, she commanded the situation. Total fearlessness. He sees fear not as a stop sign, but as a compass pointing towards growth.
And he has a framework for this, the SHIT acronym.
He does. And it's definitely memorable, but it's powerful. It stands for success, hustle, intelligence, talent. It's about owning all of it.
Okay, break that down for a coach. How do you use that?
Well, you help athletes recognize and own their small successes. Foster real hustle, not just effort, but focused, smart work. Guide them to pull intelligence from wins and losses. And help them identify and value their unique talents, their own intrinsic worth, not just external praise.
So it's about shifting their focus inward.
Yeah.
Building that self-belief muscle.
Seeing a tough race or a new skill, not as something scary, but as a chance to step up.
So pulling it all together, how to be free, sounds like it's packed with really actionable stuff for coaches, beyond just theory.
Absolutely. It's about transforming perspectives, overcoming the past, building resilience, finding composure, owning your potential. Incredibly valuable for that high-performance world.
So for you listening, the question is, how can these ideas help you redefine challenges for yourself and for your athletes?
Yeah, what's maybe one thing from this deep dive that you could try tomorrow that might unlock something new?
Definitely food for thought. If you want to explore these ideas further, the book is How to Be Free by Shaka Singhor. Again, it's out September 9th, 2025. The ISBN is 979-88933-10511.
Yes. But my background is in teaching, so I'm a qualified teacher. So what I kind of realized was the way I teach is quite geared around education, like teaching a child, not coaching a swimmer, if you know what I mean. So it's the way we approach it is like, well, what concept are you trying to get across? Why? What's the purpose of this? And how do we help the child like get to tick off the pieces of the puzzle that make up breaststroke. So I developed like a way of teaching, which my teaching staff all teach the same way. There's 14 of us, and we have 2 venues in Cape Town. We have about 1,000 clients that come weekly, mainly children from 5-year-old right through to adults. But when they start to get competitive, like wanting to do, we have provinces. In the States, you have your states. When they want to do their like leagues, and then they go off and train with the club, but then they might still do stroke work with us. So our focus is very much around the stroke and building fitness within that, but it's not just endless laps up and down. That's like, okay, this is what we're teaching you, this specific thing. Now we're going to do that a few times. Now it's this specific thing, building. We do also a lot of work on land, like teaching the kids how the stroke actually looks on land with mirrors, so that they can plot the movement, so they get the visual feedback about what a streamline actually looks like and should feel like.
Our new TV show, Heavy or Not, has a deep dive associated podcast too. Stay in touch so we can include your wisdom in these endeavors. Sign up at swimi.org.